Hey lovelies, welcome back to my channel. I'm sorry it's been a long time since I posted a video. Today we shall be making a basic bodice block. The necessary measurements will be in the description box below. The measurements we shall be needing are the neck, the shoulder, the bust points, shoulder to bust point, front length, back length, and the waist. I already marked out margins on the brown paper as a guide. Now from where my tape is measured, mark as 0. And that's where our center back is. And from that point, from 0, you measure the back length, like so. And that is 1. So we have 0 here and 1 there. 1. I'm using a permanent biro just so I can make it clear for your view. From 0 to 2 is going to be half of your bust measurements plus 2-inch ease. 0 to 2, half of bust measurement plus 2-inch ease. Then you mark it as 2. Zero to 3 is 1 inch or 2 centimeters. This is your neck depth. That's for the back neck. Remember I said this is our back, the center back. 0 to 3 is neck depth, which is usually 1 inch. 3 to 4 is half of 1 to 3. You remember 1 is the back length, 3 is the neck length. So half of 1 to 3 is what we give us 4. And that 4 is our bust line. Now this is the standard measurement. Remember, 3 to 4 is half of 1 to 3. Now to get 5, you move 1 inch away from 4. 4 to 5 is 1 inch above 4. Now, from 0 to 5, you take the measurement and you come and measure from 2 downwards. And that is 6. 5 to 6 is squared across from 5. To get 7, you measure 5 to 3. See 3 had 5, you measure whatever you get, you divide by 2. And you mark 7. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I hope you're following. Now to get your back neck measurement, which is 8, you divide your neckline by 5. You already saw how to measure your neck. After measuring your neck that way, you divide whatever it is you get by 5. And then from 0, you move towards 2 and mark it. That is your back neck width. And that is it. And that's it. Now that's that for the back bodice. Now for your front neck, you're also going to divide your neck measurement by 5 plus ½ inch. Whatever you get, you mark as 9. Now that is 9. To serve as a guide, you can go ahead and draw a straight line from 2 to 6. Now from 2, remember you divided your neckline by 5 and then you applied the answer to 9 to make 9. Now to get 10, you do the same thing, divide by 5 and plus 1/4 inch, and that's 10. Now you draw a straight line from 2 to 6 to serve as a guide. You can take it lower if you want. Remember, 5 to 6 is your underarm line. Now from 7 to 11, it will be half of your back width, and then you square down to the underarm line. Seven to 11 is half of your back width. You square down to underarm line. All this I'm doing so I would have an equal measurement, so I'd be able to draw a straight line. Now that's 11. I measured 0 to 7 and then came down to somewhere above between 0 and 2. Measured exactly 0 to 7 again, so I'd have a straight line that can guide me. My apologies, I was supposed to actually square down, not up, down to the underarm line. I'm sorry, that's a mistake. I'm supposed to square out first, like so. Mark 11. And then I square down to the underarm line. Now I'll find the midpoint of 7 to 5. Mid of 7 to 5. Apply it from 11 to the underarm line and mark 12. That is 12. Now to get started, you measure 3 to 7. Whatever you get, you divide it by 3. Whatever your answer is after you divided it by 3, you subtract 5 centimeters, which is equivalent to 2 inches. Mark as starting. "14 is equals 7 to 11 plus 1 inch. So you measure 7 to 11. What you get is what you measure as 13 to 14 plus 1 inch. And that is 14. And that's 14. You draw a straight line from 8 to 14, like so. That is your shoulder measurement. Remember, 13 to 14 is 7 to 11 plus 1 inch. To get 15, you measure from 8 to 14 and divide by 2, and then you add half centimeter to it. That's 14 to 15. You mark that point 15. "15 to 16 is half inch from 15. Mm, 15. You mark 16. That half inch we just measured is the dart. Now to get 17, on line 7 to 11, you measure 2 centimeters up towards your neck. 2 centimeters like so. On mark 17. So you connect 15 to 17 and 16 to 17. That's your back. That. Your shoulder, that's perfect. Now from 10 to 6, you find the midpoint and you mark it. That's 18. Plus 1/2 1/4 inch, that's 2 centimeters. To get 19, you measure 1/2 of your chest measurement plus 2 centimeters. Square down to underarm line. Half of your chest measurement plus 2 centimeters. And then you square down to the underarm line. This I'm doing so I would get a straight line measuring from the margin down. First measured from the margin down to 18 and found out what it was and measured on the other side, just so I'd have a straight line. Now that is 19. You then square it down to the underarm line. That's your chest line. Square down to the underarm line, like so. This I am doing so I would have a clear measurement as to the lines. This is for the bust because I need to connect it to have a straight bust line to serve as a guide. Now I'll connect the two to have the bust line. The chest, underarm line, bust line. That's 10. To 20 is equals 18 to 19 plus 1 inch and 7.5. 18 to 19 plus 1 inch 0.75. That is 10 to 20. So you come to 10 and you measure it like so. This is to get a straight line. Whatever you get 2 to 10, you measure it on the other side and apply your 18 to 19 plus 1 inch 7.5 or 1.75 inch. That is 10 to 20. You mark 20 at that point. To get 21, from 20 you mark ½ inch above like so and mark 21. Connect 9 to 21 to create the front shoulder. Good. Now, to get 22 on the bust line, you measure half of your bust point from center front. From center front, measure half of your bust point on the bust line and mark as 22. Good. To get 23, you measure 14 to 15. That will give you 23. Connect 22 to 23 towards the neckline, like so. To get 24, that is 23 to 24. Half of your bust measurements divide by 8. That is to get 24. Half of your bust measurements divide by 8. It is very important that you do this because your bust measurements determines the width of your dart and the fitting you get. Remember half of your bust measurements. So let's say your bust is 36. You divide it into 2. That will give you 18. Now you divide that 18 by 8. Whatever you get as your answer is what you will use as your measurement. That's your dart measurement. From 23 to 24 is your answer of 1/8 of your half bust measurement. Now you connect 24 to 22 like so. And there you have it. To get 25, measure 5 to 6. 5 to 6. Now half of it is 25. Square down to the hem and mark 26. Square down to the hem or your half length, that's your waist, and mark as 26. I'm sorry, your waist, not the hem. Your waist 26. Connect to the straight line like so. And then you draw a line to the center front, towards the center front, and mark as 27. You draw the long line, that is your center front, like so, and then you mark your 27 there. Connect 26 and 27 to get your waist measurement. The back length, you check the front length and see what you have. Now from 27, you measure half an inch and mark as 28 below the waistline. Connect it like so. Our pattern has started forming. What we have left now is the armhole and the waist dart. As for the under bust measurement, you may want to do that now and you can choose to leave it to do it later. That depends on you. This is just a guide because we're going to draw the armhole curve. So it depends on you. You can choose to leave it like that, or alternatively, you can just go ahead and draw the line as a guide. Now from center front to the bust point, you measure it, then you go to the waistline and indicate the same measurement. Now everybody's size has the ideal that measurement for that size. For my size, it's 1.5. So after drawing a straight line like so, you mark half of your dart measurement on either side of the straight line. That is the dart legs. Where you mark your measurement at the bust point at the hem. And then after drawing the straight line, connecting the measurements at the hem and that at the bust point, you draw your dart legs. All those we are marking them as guides, just so we'll be guided and have a straight line. Now to make the armhole curve for the back, at that angle there you measure 1 inch from the corner. and then you connect everything as is expected. For the front, you take 1 inch as well, and then you connect them with your French curve or freehand, whichever one it is you're comfortable with. I will draw the curves now and you will see, both for the front armhole and the back armhole. Let's outline the neck. It's okay for us to do that at this point. You can go ahead and draw your curve with freehand if you're comfortable with that, but I want to be precise. I don't want to do too much. I want to be properly guided. It's the reason why I keep drawing these lines as guides. But if you can go ahead and do your curve anywhere without take your measurements without the guide, fine. There are people who work with freehand. However, I like precision. I like everything to be precise. We'll then go ahead and draw the back neck too, the back neck curve. Now we're trying to check so we'll know where the side line would be. So we'll take the measurement of the waist, excluding the darts, and then we'll continue to check and see where our waist measurement ought to be, and then you mark. That is 29. The same measurement you took for your your front dart is the exact measurement you would use for your back darts. You measure the waistline as well and see, and make sure that your dart is within the appropriate calculation. It is no more than, but it is at where it ought to be, and that the dart is proportionate to your body size. Measure your bust like so, and then add half an inch ease to it. Do the same to both the front and the back. Remember, this drafting is according to your body size, so it don't matter what you get in the end or what it ends up looking like. That's because our body shapes differ, our sizes differ. That's our side seam. Measure. Connect as well. And that's your measurements for the side back seam. Now I have drawn the curve. The front curve, that's the front armhole curve, and the back armhole curve. We label it CF and CB. Center back, center front. That's what it means. We're done as it is. We are done. From 19, I went in by half an inch, just so I would have a perfect curve. This waistline I have above is just so when I fold the darts, that's when I close it, everywhere will be balanced. That's why I raised half an inch from 23 up and connected to 21.